And our plan lessons 12:1 for our daily verse. We now at Leviticus chapter 3 in verse 12 up to verse 17. If you offer a goat, you must also present it to me at the entrance to the sacred tent. Lay your hand on its head and have it killed there. A priest will then splatter its blood against the four sides of the altar. Offer all of the fat of the animal's insides, as well as the lower part of the liver and the two kidneys with their fat. One of the priests will put these pieces on the altar and send them up in smoke as a food offering with a smell that pleases me. All fat belongs to me, so you and your descendants must never eat any fat or any blood, not even in the privacy of your own homes. This law will never change. So yes, so in this passage, it is about another alternative for the cow. So another substitute for a cow for burnt offering is goat. However, one also of the highlights of this passage is the command of the Lord to avoid fat and blood. Or the command of the Lord for the Israelites for them to avoid eating fat and blood. And that command is a perpetual command unto the Israelites. But why is it that the Lord is specific in this command for the Israelites to avoid eating the blood and the fat of those animals? Why? Why? Because the blood and the fat had other purposes. Okay? So let us remember that those blood will be sprinkled there at the altar. And those fat will be there. It will be put there at the top of the altar for it to be burnt offering. So it will be a pleasing aroma unto the Lord. So yes, that's the purpose of it. That the Lord required for them to burn those fat and those blood must be sprinkled there at the altar. And possibly because of what the blood and the fat symbolizes, right? However, we must realize that it is an Old Testament law. And we are now in the New Testament. And of course, for example, here in the Philippines, we have the so-called dinuguan. And it is part of the culture and tradition here of the Philippines that we used to eat dinuguan during our fiesta. And even in the restaurant, you can order dinuguan anytime, anywhere. It's all over here in the Philippines. So for me, it is up to you whether you want to eat dinuguan or you choose to avoid it. So it's up to you. So you see, we have different conviction. Some wants to avoid it, some wants to eat it. So it depends upon your decision whether you want to eat dinuguan or you choose to avoid it. It's up to you. But for me, I choose to avoid dinuguan due to the fact that maybe because I hate the flavor. And maybe because I hate the taste of dinuguan. And maybe because I hate the process of their cooking. So maybe because of my prior knowledge of the source of the blood. So sometimes when you go to the public market, you can see why those blood might be contaminated. And those restaurant owner will buy those blood. And maybe because I see the source of the blood. See? Majority of it will be sold or can be sold or can be bought there at the public market. And sorry to say this, but the source of it is so unhygienic. And without proper cooking, right cooking, it might lead to food poison, right? So I don't eat dinuguan. Because I know where the blood came from. And that the origin of those blood for me is so unhygienic. So I don't want to put myself at risk at eating dinuguan because my stomach is so sensitive and it might lead to, food poisoning. Because of the source of the blood is so unhygienic. And it is possible that it could be contaminated. So I say no to eating dinuguan. So what's yours? Did you eat dinuguan? Or you choose also to avoid it? So for me, I avoid it because I hate the source of the blood. And I see that the source of the blood is so unhygienic, so I say no to it.